Well, welcome to Challenge 2. I hope you had fun with Challenge 1 and you didn't have any big problems. This is a sculpting project, and here's one I made earlier, as they say. This is a wall planter, or a wall mask, and it has a hole in the top where the soil can go, and it has a hole in the bottom to drain the water, and it has a flat back and a sculpted front. So this one actually is about the right size, and it weighs actually well less than the clay I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you 3 kilograms this week, and I'm going to give you a clay called crank material, which is slightly different from the stuff you've been using. It's a slightly rougher clay. Now, you know how to make a slab because you did that last time, and I have just made one exactly the same way as last time, and this is the sort of shape I want. It's an oval, long at the sides, a bit wider at the bottom, a bit pointier at the top. And you put that onto your piece of wood, and you don't need those anymore. Now, the first thing is to decide what sort of a mask you're going to do. It could be a man or a woman, it could be an animal. Whatever it's going to be, that's the shape you're going to start with. And we're going to take off a little bit at the sides here. We're going to come nice and low at the bottom. It doesn't have to be even. And at the top, we want to come to a point in the middle, like this. And that is where we're going to hang it up. And about 1 centimetre in from the top, you're going to cut a hole. It doesn't have to be a very big hole, just big enough like that to put a nice healthy sized nail in. That's the back. Now, you're going to have 3 kilos of clay. That will take you 1 kilogram. So when you're weighing out, weigh about 1 kilogram of clay for your first part of your project. Now, with this clay, you're going to start coiling. And this time, you're going to make sausages of clay, but they're going to be quite fat. So if you squeeze them between your hands like that, give them a bit of a roll, but not too much, about a couple of centimetres thick, and then use your thumb just to flatten them, but don't flatten them too much. You want them to be about 1 centimetre thick, like that. And you're going to start at one corner, and leaning it slightly inwards, you're going to join it to the back really well on the outside, like that. And you're going to keep going round. And let me just get some clay for the next one, until you reach the other side at the same height. So here's another sausage, about 1 centimetre. Flatten it down a bit. Make sure you join it really well to the first one and carry on round. Okay, so I'm not going to do this all of this, but you can see how it works. Make sure you join it well to the backing sheet. On the inside, very important, join it really well onto the backing sheet. Don't steal too much clay from the wall to make sure you join it. And at the top, which is where the weight is going to be, make sure that's particularly well joined. And you're going to do that all the way around. The next row on top, but leaning in further. And when you have a couple of rows done, then you can start doing strips across. But of course, it's going to sag in the middle, so you need to stuff some paper inside it. Okay, so that is the technique. And in true Blue Peter form, here we have one I made earlier. And this is the same thing, but I've got a bit further. So I have covered it over, and I've used some newspaper inside, just screwed up newspaper, to stop it sagging. One of the important things is to join the inside of each coil. So you will need to reach inside before you put the paper in and join the inside as well as the outside. The other thing I mentioned earlier is to make a hole in the bottom. Make sure it's quite low down on the neck. Just cut out the hole like that. And that's for drainage. It can be a good size for a finger. Now you're ready to start building your mask. And just like this one, you're going to choose the eyes quite near the top. And this is the way I would do it. I would push in the space where the eyes are going to go. And building up in the middle. Don't push too hard, you go right through. And then using some of your extra clay, you will have used about 2 to 2.5 kilos at this stage. So you still have about ½ kilo left. You can build the face. And I'm not even going to help you with that because it's all straightforward. Make sure that when you're joining extra clay to the original piece that you join really thoroughly. So if we want some hair, like the mask has, then really join in well, like that. And using your tool, sorry, this is your tool, you can score the hair like that. You can go above the line where the soil will go, but try not to have it sticking right out because they will tend to break, those extra pieces. If you've got more than you want down here, which I have, if you push down like that onto the base, you can then trim a bit off there, no problem. Just make sure that that's well joined. I mentioned in the instruction sheet, which you're going to get, using an old credit card or a bit of plastic like that. And this is for scraping the surface to smooth it. Okay, so it don't lose much clay, but that's the alternative to a kidney, because we just don't have enough kidneys for everybody. There we go. And once you've finished making the piece, you're going to leave it to dry. You're not going to paint it with your paints. You probably haven't got enough paints anyway at this stage. You're going to use a choice of glazes. I'm going to send you some images of those glazes, and then you can decide which one you want. I've got about 5 different ones. This one here is called Toxic Turquoise, and it's a fantastic glaze for outdoor